Hey, JB from DragonDen Productions here. Today we're going to be talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Universal Monsters Leonardo, the creature from the Black Lagoon action figure from NECA Toys and Universal Studios. Let's dig into this. Hey everybody, today we're talking about Leonardo as the creature from the Black Lagoon from NECA Toys and Universal Studios. As you can see on the front, you get the picture of Leonardo. On the side, you have some nice artwork there as well. And on the back, all sorts of goodies. It's a real creature feature here. And on the side, you can see some of the other ones. Looks like they're going to be possibly doing Michelangelo as the Wolfman, Casey Jones as the Phantom of the Opera, Donatello as the Invisible Man, and then you also have the other Michelangelo as the Mummy from Wave 1. Now, if you open up the front cover, you can see the figure inside with an awesome picture of him over here on the left. I love these clamshell boxes. They're so nice. Sorry about the light. It's our first video. We're going to be working out some bugs. You can see Leonardo in there. All the different hands and weapons and other stuff you get with them. Now we'll go ahead and we'll close this up. We'll turn off the camera and start it back up with the figure out, and let's dig into it. And here we go with Leonardo out of his packaging. It's a great looking figure. As you can see, they put a ton of detail in these things. NECA's always really good about the detail they put into their work. Go flip him over, you see his shell. Looks like he's got a bunch of crustaceans and fossils in his shell, which look really cool. It's got this netting, which is made of a rubbery plastic, so it's got some give to it. You can see a little bit there. You can squeeze and push it down. Kind of goes over his back crest there. And he's got the same crest on his knees. He does have elbow pads and knee pads. They are of a rubbery consistency here. So, and I noticed when you bend the elbows, they do kind of give way. So that's nice. Now for articulation on him. Looks like he's got a double ball joint in the neck. So you can go forward, you can go backward quite a bit. In the neck, he's got a twist there, but he also twists from this point here in the neck as well. So you can get a bit of a head tilt going from left to right. You can only look up about that far. You can look down quite a bit, which is quite nice. As far as the arms go, they can only go out about that far. They're not a huge range of motion on them. Up forward, they can go straight up, just about straight up over his head. And I will say, with most NECA figures, sometimes you have to use the hot water trick or a hair dryer to loosen up these joints because they are of that rubbery plastic, and sometimes in the past there have been reports of them breaking. I've personally never had that happen, but these are pretty good right out of the box, I'm finding. Your experience might differ, but I'd hate to lead you on. They can go out. You can get a nice little monstrous pose there. Rawr. Yeah, I know. Let's see your elbow. Elbows can bend quite a bit, actually. So that's really nice. And they do have elbow rotation, so that's very nice. Now the hands are their typical NECA hands, with the peg joint. So they can twist. They can bend down and up just slightly. He does have these wrist guards here that kind of prohibit bending those wrists too much. Let's see if I can get this one to go a little bit better. Down, and then up. So yeah, I mean, his hands, I know they have the webbing that makes it hard to see. Oh, look at that. He even has little suction cups inside those hands. That's funny. All right, for splits. Well, I mean, he's a Ninja Turtle, but he's not doing full-on splits. But still, decent range. He can kick forward, not at all. That's as far forward as those legs will go. And back, just basically a vertical pose. So your forward to back movement is little to none. Let's see here. How about the knees? Knees have a good bend to them. I mean, this kind of constricts it towards the back with that rubbery plastic. If that wasn't there, it would probably bend a bit more, but I prefer to have the knee pads. I think it looks cool. All right. Ankles. You don't get much forward tilt at all, and you don't get much back tilt at all. I know I should be using the foot closest to the camera, but you do get ankle pivot. So you can go in or out. So it gives you a little bit of range for posing, but without the legs bending out any further, I mean, I suppose you could get a pose with the knees bent and all that to where he'd be sitting flush, but not a huge range of motion on the legs. That's a little disappointing. So arms great, head's great, legs, knees, ankles are good, hip, not so much. There is no body twist to this whatsoever. I mean, he's a turtle. He's got a shell. All right. Now, sorry, wearing these gloves because recently have a kitten and, well, she likes to chew my hands. Accessories. You do get a pair of hands that come with the figure on it that you saw. These hands here, you know, a left and a right, they're just open, kind of monstrous pose. You can see a lot better here, that peg joint I was talking about. So, I mean, you can see, in theory, that peg should go 90 degrees both ways, somewhere in there. But you get really good detail in those hands. The nails and the bone look is really cool. You get those hands, and then you get a weapon holding hands, which they did put the suction cups in the hands too. It's just an aesthetic, but they don't really suck on anything. But for holding their weapons, you know, he does have a pair of like clenched hands for that, so that's nice. You also get just a static turtle. You know, no articulation whatsoever on this guy. He's just there to look pretty. But the detail they do on him is just awesome. You also get a fishing line with some bobbers and hooks, and it's got a straight loop on it, so it looks like you can put it under an arm and over the head. I'm not going to take that out just because parts will go everywhere, and you can see it probably a lot better right there in the bag. There we go. That makes it a little easier for you. So, and it looks like you can put the bobbers and hooks anywhere you please. Now for weapons, he has this bone claw, which looks like when you take off the hand, which you just unpeg it from the wrist, looks like you'll put this up against the wrist and then peg the new hand in and keep that bone claw right on his hand for slashing action. Kind of neat. And then, of course, everybody knows Leonardo and his katanas. Well, this time, they are spears. And one of them has a piranha on the end of it. Very neat. Get a better look at those. Just like that. Looks like it's wrapped in cord and made of wood. I mean, they're made of plastic, but it's made to look like they're made out of wood, like wooden spears. Very neat. There's that piranha. I know that's upside down. Turn that around for you guys. Get you a better view of it. Very neat stuff. Now, whoops, kicking that stuff all over the place there. Leonardo measures roughly 7 inches tall. So it's a good size figure, and he has got some weight. I don't have an exact scale right here, but I wouldn't worry about your shelves collapsing, but you know, he's definitely got some girth to him. All right, well, that's what we have on Leonardo. We'll get into final thoughts here next. All right, final thoughts on Leonardo, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Great figure aesthetically. I think he looks just magnificent. The colors all work together, the greens with the golds and the browns, the reds. It just works really well together. They've done a really good job of this. Now, at the price point of roughly $40, am I pleased with this figure at that price point? Yeah, I'd say I'd pay $40 for this again. Uh, for articulation, that's a bit of a letdown to me. I was hoping for a bit more. On a scale of 1 to 5 on articulation, I'd probably give it about a 2 because of those hips. You know, maybe I'd go as high as a 2.5. Accessories, he's got some neat accessories. I love the harpoon look of the sword. I think that's incredible detail. It looks old, looks like something a monster would carry. I like that. I like the bone claw. I think that's really an interesting piece. Not something I would have thought of if I was creating a figure myself, which is why I'm not paid the big bucks like they are. 3 different sets of hands. I do like that. That gives you different posability options. The hooks on the line, I could go with or without. It's not something that's, necessity wise for the figure, but it will add some look to it. And the turtle. Interesting choice of an accessory. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's really well done. So, I mean, I guess it works really well for being in a lagoon setting. Having a turtle or an alligator or something like that, really gives it some presence. All in all, on a scale of 1 to 10 on Leonardo, I would give it a 7.5, maybe 7.75 out of 10. Looks great, has some good weight to it. The joints aren't super sticky like some tend to be. Has decent articulation in the neck, arms, knees, and ankles. The legs definitely have nothing to give. Well, that has been my review on Leonardo, the Creature from the Black Lagoon by NECA and Universal Studio Toys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll have another one for you very soon. Thanks.
Hey, here's another DragonDen video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.